Ladies, if you find yourself gracefully approaching the incredible milestone of 80, or perhaps you've already stepped into this uniquely challenging yet beautiful season of life, then listen closely because this message is an urgent wake-up call tailored specifically for you. The moment you cross that significant threshold, 5 profound transformations quietly begin to unfold within your body, your mind, and indeed throughout your entire daily existence. And here's the unvarnished truth. These shifts will happen whether you are ready for them or not, whether you like them or not. I understand this might sound a little heavy, perhaps even a touch unsettling, but what's truly alarming is that the vast majority of women in their golden years are utterly unprepared for these deep-seated changes. They simply don't see them coming. What makes this situation even more frustrating, perhaps even dangerous, is that it's not something your doctor typically sits you down to discuss, nor is it a topic your children usually bring up over Sunday dinner, and you certainly won't find it boldly splashed across the pages of those glossy health magazines. Instead, it arrives quietly, subtly, almost sneaking up on you until one day you simply wake up and an undeniable realization hits you. Oh my goodness, this is truly happening to me. That's precisely why I feel compelled to speak with you today, not to instill fear or spread any sense of impending doom, but rather to unveil a crucial truth, the kind of truth that, when embraced, ultimately sets you free. Because with foreknowledge of what truly lies ahead, you gain the immense power to prepare, to face these shifts head-on with resilience, and most crucially, to remain in confident control of your truly golden years. For those of you who might not know me yet, I'm Lady Karen, and here on Insightful Senior, it's my privilege to share honest, practical advice for women just like you. Women who aspire to live healthier, safer, and more confident lives as they gracefully navigate the journey of growing older. And let me assure you, today's video is one you simply cannot afford to click away from. These 5 significant things, I promise you, are guaranteed to show up once you've crossed the age of 80. Some are undeniably physical, others deeply emotional, and one in particular, especially the final one I'll share, might just shock you. It's a profound change almost no woman sees coming, but every woman truly feels once it's here. So please stay with me until the very end, because I truly believe this conversation could fundamentally change the way you perceive the precious years ahead. Before we dive into these essential revelations, I have a quick and very important favor to ask of you. Please hit that like button right now. Why? Because when you do, YouTube's algorithms intelligently show this video to more senior ladies, just like yourself, who desperately need to hear this message. I can almost guarantee there's someone out there today, sitting alone at home, feeling confused, maybe even a little scared about what she's experiencing. Your single click could be the very reason she receives this vital message and finds the comfort and understanding she so deeply craves. Also, I'd genuinely love to hear from you in the comments below. If you're over 80, please share with us. What has been the biggest, most unexpected surprise for you about aging? Was it something physical, something emotional, or perhaps something nobody ever truly warned you about? Share your story openly, because I personally read every single comment. And believe me, your honest words might be precisely what another woman needs to hear to feel understood and less alone today. Now let's talk openly about these 5 truly brutal truths. I call them brutal, not to frighten you, but because they are profoundly honest, and sometimes the most liberating truths sting a little at first before they truly set you free. The first profound truth is the undeniable decline in physical energy. Even if you maintain excellent health, you'll inevitably notice that fatigue creeps in far faster and deeper than it ever used to. What you could once accomplish with ease in a morning might now require your entire day, leaving you considerably more tired. Simple tasks, like navigating the expansive aisles of a grocery store, can begin to feel like an unexpected marathon, while standing at the stove to prepare a full, cherished meal might suddenly leave you longing for an immediate nap. This isn't a sign of personal weakness, it's a natural biological adjustment your body undergoes. It simply doesn't recover with the same youthful speed, and your internal energy reserves operate at a much lower capacity than they did in your 60s or even your 70s. This consistent decline in energy, subtly yet significantly, increases your vulnerability, as fatigue is often the silent setup for dangerous falls. Falls are no longer minor accidents. They are the #1 reason women over 80 end up in the emergency room. One wrong step, One fleeting moment of weakness, and suddenly you could be facing broken bones or enduring months of painful recovery. This makes a simple yet life-saving fix absolutely crucial. Invest in a bright night light for your bedroom, hallway, and bathroom. This minimal expense can profoundly diminish the risk of a dangerous fall during those essential middle-of-the-night movements. Never underestimate the immense safety and peace of mind derived from simply being able to see clearly when moving around your own home. The second truth we must face is the shift in memory and cognitive function. I'm not referring to the severe impact of dementia here, but rather the more common, everyday forgetfulness that becomes noticeably more frequent and impactful. You might put down your reading glasses and find yourself completely unable to recall where they are moments later. You walk into the kitchen with a clear purpose, only to stand there wondering why you entered in the first place. Names that once sprang instantly to mind now require a little more time and effort to surface. This can be frustrating, occasionally even a little embarrassing, but it is an entirely natural part of the aging process that your brain undergoes. To gracefully navigate these cognitive shifts, building a daily routine specifically for your memory is incredibly empowering. Write down your appointments, your medication schedules, even simple to-do lists, and consistently keep them in one highly visible spot. Never rely solely on memory alone. A small dedicated notebook by the phone or a prominent calendar on the wall can significantly alleviate mental stress and provide you with profound peace of mind each and every day, ensuring you stay organized and confident. The third, often deeply emotional truth is the undeniable shrinking of social circles. Over time, friends you've known and cherished for decades may sadly pass away, leaving a profound void. Others might transition into assisted living facilities or be moved by their families far from your neighborhood. Even your closest family, your children and grandchildren, are increasingly busy, immersed in their careers, raising their own families, and navigating their complex lives. You may suddenly find yourself receiving fewer phone calls, experiencing fewer visits, and seeing fewer familiar faces in your daily routine. That creeping sense of emptiness, that feeling of increased isolation, is one of the hardest and most painful adjustments women over 80 often face. Loneliness on the surface might appear to be nothing more than quiet afternoons or empty evenings, but it digs much deeper, becoming a silent health risk. Studies conclusively show it significantly raises the risk of depression, but beyond that, it also increases the risk of heart disease, accelerates memory decline, and can even contribute to a shorter lifespan. It's not merely sadness, it's a critical health risk hiding in plain sight. To combat this effectively, schedule a weekly social check-in for yourself. Don't passively wait for your children or grandchildren to call. Take the initiative. Pick up the phone yourself and reach out to a trusted friend, a kind neighbor, or another reliable contact. Better yet, proactively arrange a short visit, even if it's simply sitting together over a comforting cup of tea. That regular, genuine connection is incredibly powerful medicine against the pervasive ache of loneliness, nurturing your spirit and enhancing your well-being. The fourth truth encompasses an increased vulnerability, a challenging reality that is both physical and emotional. Physically, your body becomes more susceptible to accidents, unexpected falls, minor infections that can hit harder, and sudden health scares that can feel overwhelming. But this vulnerability doesn't stop at the physical realm. Emotionally and financially, seniors over 80, particularly women, are tragically the #1 targets for insidious scammers. They actively seek out women who appear trusting, kind, or perhaps just a little too polite to simply hang up the phone. This unsettling sense of heightened vulnerability can be genuinely frightening because it forces you to realize the world might perceive you differently than it once did. Furthermore, your trusting nature, a beautiful quality from a different era, makes you more susceptible today. The sad reality is that not everyone has good intentions. Scammers, pushy salespeople, and even certain opportunistic professionals see seniors as easier to persuade and unfortunately take advantage of that openness. Consider everyday moments. At the pharmacy, a small medication mix-up is more likely to slip through unnoticed because you're juggling multiple prescriptions whose labels might look almost identical. This increased vulnerability for scams has tangible, dangerous effects. Misplacing your keys might seem harmless, but that same fundamental forgetfulness, combined with trusting nature, can make you a prime target for financial scams. Scammers are experts at confusion, pressure tactics, and rushing you into decisions. One single moment of distraction or emotional manipulation, and your life savings could vanish with a single phone call. To protect yourself effectively, make protecting your finances an absolute priority. Scammers are indeed clever and constantly evolving their tactics. By prioritizing your financial well-being, you're not just safeguarding your money, but profoundly protecting your independence and future security too. And then we arrive at the fifth truth, perhaps the hardest and most insidious one of all, a profound shift in identity. For many women over 80, there's a quiet, often unspoken feeling of gradually becoming invisible. You might walk into a bustling store, and the clerk's gaze seems to effortlessly pass right over you. You go to a doctor's office, and they might instinctively address your daughter or another companion instead of speaking directly to you, the patient. Society, in its hurried pace, often has a way of overlooking older women as though your rich, vibrant story has already been completely written and filed away. And yet, deep inside, you know with absolute certainty that you are still profoundly you. You still possess immeasurable wisdom, an enduring fire, and countless experiences worth sharing, yet it often doesn't feel like the world truly sees or values that anymore. Think back for a moment. At 40, you might have noticed your first silver strands. At 60, you began paying closer attention to your joints. But once you gracefully cross 80, the changes are not only bigger, but often arrive with disorienting speed. Unless you truly recognize them for what they are, not weaknesses, but natural evolutions, they can catch you entirely off guard and leave you feeling disoriented. That's precisely why we're having this vital conversation today, to shine a bright light on these realities so you can walk through these golden years with your eyes wide open, feeling fully prepared and never ever blindsided by the future. These shifts don't happen in isolation. They are exacerbated by physical, social, and psychological factors that make this stage of life uniquely challenging for women over 80. Physically, your body simply isn't as robust as it once was. Frailty can become an undeniable reality, and reaction times are naturally slower. If you trip, you might not always be able to catch yourself with the agility you once possessed. Your immune system, your body's vital natural shield, has weakened, meaning something as common as a cold or a minor infection can knock you down far harder and for longer than it would have 20 years ago. Socially, life often looks dramatically different at 80. More women find themselves living alone, whether by choice or due to the profound loss of loved ones. When you live alone, you often become more reliant on caregivers, doctors, or even unfamiliar strangers in public spaces. This increasing dependency can feel uncomfortable, and at times, it places you in situations where others might hold more control than you'd ideally prefer. Then there's the significant psychological aspect. Many women over 80 grew up in a very different world, a world where a handshake truly meant something, where people generally honored their word, and where trust was a fundamental cornerstone of community. That deeply trusting nature, while inherently beautiful, regrettably makes you more vulnerable in today's often less scrupulous world. These interconnected layers, physical, social, and psychological, collectively add up. They don't just explain why changes after 80 can feel heavier and more relentless. They eloquently explain why so many older women tragically feel like the world is moving too fast, leaving them desperately trying to keep up. Here's where it becomes even more concerning. These changes aren't just uncomfortable, they are far more dangerous than they initially appear because their effects ripple out in ways most people don't recognize until it's tragically too late. Take chronic fatigue, for example. It may seem like nothing more than feeling a little more tired than usual, but fatigue is the silent, pervasive setup for dangerous falls. As mentioned, falls are the #1 reason women over 80 end up in the emergency room. One wrong step, one critical moment of physical weakness, and suddenly you could be facing debilitating broken bones or months of excruciating, painful recovery that impacts your entire independence. And what about consistent forgetfulness? Misplacing your keys might seem like a minor annoyance, but that very same forgetfulness, combined with the earlier mentioned increased vulnerability, can make you a prime target for devastating financial scams. Scammers possess an uncanny ability to confuse, to pressure, and to rush older individuals. One moment of distraction, one lapse in judgment, and your meticulously saved life savings can literally disappear with a single treacherous phone call. But here is perhaps the most unfair and heartbreaking truth of all. Even when adult children live nearby, many women over 80 still report feeling profoundly overlooked and unheard. Why? Because from the outside, you might look fine. Perhaps you're immaculately dressed, or you manage a bright smile when they drop by. But what they don't always see, what often remains hidden, is the pervasive fatigue, the gnawing loneliness, or the quiet, persistent worry you carry deep inside. And so your very real struggles are often casually brushed aside as just a part of getting old, an inevitable decline that can make you feel even more isolated. And that, ladies, brings us to a crucial, uncomfortable question. Are these fundamental changes truly inevitable, simply part of nature's course? Or are we, as a society, collectively allowing them to happen, treating them as unavoidable when, in reality, much more could and should be done to actively support, empower, and profoundly protect older women like you? The truly good news amidst these realities is that you possess far more control than you might currently perceive. It's about consciously making small, steady, protective choices that safeguard your well-being day after day. Let's walk through a few simple, yet incredibly powerful steps together. First, revisit that $5 fix. Investing in a bright night light for your bedroom, hallway, or bathroom is truly one of the most impactful decisions you can make. This single tiny purchase can prevent a devastating fall in the middle of the night, addressing the number one danger for women over 80. Never underestimate how much fundamental safety and independence stems from simply being able to see clearly when moving around your own cherished home. Second, proactively build a daily routine that supports your memory. Take the initiative to write down all your appointments, diligently list your medications, and even create simple to-do lists, keeping them all in one consistently visible and accessible spot. Crucially, don't rely on memory alone. A small, dedicated notebook positioned by your phone or a large, clear calendar prominently displayed on the wall can significantly reduce daily stress and provide you with invaluable peace of mind. Third, make a point to schedule a weekly social check-in. Do not passively wait for your children or grandchildren to remember to call you. Take ownership of your social connections. Pick up the phone yourself. Reach out to a trusted friend, a kind neighbor, or someone you genuinely rely on. Better yet, proactively arrange a short visit, even if it's just to share a simple cup of tea together. That regular, meaningful connection is powerful, restorative medicine against the insidious, creeping feeling of loneliness. Fourth, remain fiercely protective of your finances. As we discussed, scammers are incredibly clever and sophisticated in their deceit. By treating your financial well-being with utmost priority and staying vigilant, you're protecting not only your hard-earned money but also your precious independence for years to come. These proactive steps might sound incredibly simple on their own, but when you consistently put them into practice together, they collectively create a formidable shield. A shield that empowers you to face your 80s, not with paralyzing fear, but with unwavering confidence and self-assurance. Now let's be truly realistic. Even with the best habits, the strongest intentions, and diligent preparation, things can still happen unexpectedly. And when they do, your response, how you choose to react, can make an enormous difference in the outcome. So here is a simple yet profoundly effective emergency action plan, presented step by step. First, if you experience a fall, please do not try to be overly strong or stoic and brush it off. Do not try to tough it out. Call 911 or your local emergency number right away, and immediately after, call a trusted contact, whether that's a family member, a neighbor, or a close friend. Getting help quickly can be the critical difference between a short, manageable recovery and a long, painful, and potentially devastating setback. Second, if you are scammed, understand that it happens faster than you think, and it can truly happen to anyone, regardless of intelligence or vigilance. The very moment you realize you've been targeted or compromised, call your bank immediately to get those accounts frozen before any more irreparable damage can be done. Then report the incident to your local authorities. You might naturally feel embarrassed, but please do not. Scammers are highly sophisticated professionals at what they do, and bravely speaking up could be the vital act that protects someone else from falling into the same trap. Third, if feelings of loneliness or depression begin to subtly or overtly creep in, please do not keep it bottled up inside. Tell your doctor openly and honestly. Let them know what you are truly feeling, even if it feels difficult. There are numerous wonderful programs, senior groups, and even compassionate hotlines specifically designed to support older adults. You are never a burden, and you absolutely do not have to carry that immense weight alone. And fourth, if you start to notice recurring memory slips, begin to proactively write them down. Keep a small notebook where you record when these instances happen and specifically what you forgot. Share this valuable information openly with your family and, crucially, bring it to your doctor's attention early on. The sooner you speak up and document these changes, the more support and effective treatment options will be available to you. Here is my biggest, most heartfelt encouragement to you. Never give up if the first answer you hear is, "Oh, that's just normal for your age." You profoundly deserve to be heard, respected, and thoroughly investigated. You know your own body and mind better than anyone else on this planet. If one person doesn't listen intently, keep speaking until someone truly does. Your health, your safety, and your inner peace of mind are absolutely worth fighting for with every fiber of your being. So let's bring all these vital points together, ladies, to paint a complete picture. Once a woman courageously crosses into her 80s, these 5 profound, often brutal truths invariably begin to show themselves. Your physical energy naturally declines. Your memory and cognitive focus begin to subtly shift. Your social circle inevitably starts to shrink. Your overall vulnerability increases in significant ways. And perhaps the hardest and most insidious truth of all, your deep sense of identity can slowly start to feel overlooked, even invisible, in the eyes of the wider world. These changes are unequivocally real, and they can undeniably feel heavy emotionally and physically. But here, my dear ladies, is the empowering, transformative good news. You are absolutely not powerless. The vast majority of these challenges can be effectively managed, their harsher edges softened, and many can even be profoundly turned around with a keen sense of awareness and the consistent implementation of small, yet powerful, daily habits. Simple things like diligently writing things down, bravely reaching out to a friend for connection, staying relentlessly alert to the evolving tactics of scams, and meticulously keeping your home safe and well lit. These tiny, consistent steps add up to monumental protection, preserving your independence and your peace of mind. And if you do nothing else today, please do this one single thing tonight. Turn on a nightlight. It sounds so incredibly small, yet that tiny, reassuring glow could be the very thing that saves you from the #1 danger women over 80 face, a debilitating fall. One tiny light, strategically placed, could be the powerful safeguard that protects your cherished independence and keeps you shining brightly. Before you go, I would absolutely love for you to stay deeply connected with me here on Insightful Senior. If you found this video genuinely helpful, please subscribe to Insightful Senior for more honest, practical, and empathetic conversations about navigating the journey of aging. Hit that like button one last time to help spread this crucial awareness, because you truly never know which woman out there might desperately need to hear this precise message today, right at this moment. And finally, please share with me in the comments below what has been the most unexpected, surprising change you have personally faced after turning 80. Your unique story could be the very thing another woman needs to hear to feel understood, supported, and hopeful. Remember this always: you are not invisible, you are not alone, and your best, most experienced years still hold immense value, profound meaning, and irreplaceable wisdom that our world desperately needs. So stay strong, stay prepared, and keep shining your brilliant light.